I am so grateful to be making this video today, and we are going to talk all about how getting to 500 subscribers in 3 weeks has been a spiritual journey. And I just want to start off by saying I potentially have the stomach flu right now or food poisoning, and so I am not my complete normal self right now. If you hear a noise in the background, that's Arlo. He is just doing his thing. He just finished a bone that I got him. I'm somewhat put together today because I had to go to the store for essentials and for electrolytes and some things to keep me alive. I'm here in Switzerland solo traveling, and I started sharing on YouTube 3 weeks ago consistently. I had made like a few videos like a few weeks before that. But I made this channel, I think, in November 2023, and then on New Year's Day or Eve, my dad was like, let's have a competition, let's see who can grow their channel the most by March, and he's like, I'm gonna win. And he hasn't posted anything. He was supposed to get surgery, didn't actually get it, but either way, I've been like very committed and have been showing up every day, even if I have the stomach flu. And I decided to do this because it has always been like a thing in my mind that I wanted to be on this platform and sharing things. And I tried it in the past, making videos and everything, and we're gonna get into just my perspective of why that wasn't working for me. And I know like 500 is not a lot when you compare it to 1 million, 10 million subscribers like other people have, but like I am so happy and so grateful to have 500 subscribers right now and to have people commenting every day, like such beautiful comments, and just it's a much more positive experience than I could have even imagined. And I think a lot of it has to do with something that I've been talking about quite a lot on here, and it's authenticity. And so I was observing, like, what do I really like about people who I follow? Like the YouTubers, yeah, they're all YouTubers, except a couple are just on Instagram. Oh, I don't feel very good. And they're all very different. Like some are van lifers, sailors, some are Christians, some live on a farm. And what I found was that they were all authentic and that they all were true to themselves. And so much like trendsetters, like they were doing things their own ways or are doing them, and they allow themselves the permission to change. Like, you know, some of them have changed from van life and now they own a home, and or they changed from van life and now they own a farm, and so all these different things. And I really resonate with that, and I've shared too in a video of, I think it's called like what's the most powerful frequency in the world. It's authenticity. Through a study, I said Russia, but it's actually Germany, I believe. Through a study in that, they were able to find that when you there was like 25,000 participants, you put them in a room and that has no EMFs or frequencies or anything, and the one thing that was able to change their frequency the most was authenticity. So authenticity actually expands other people. And so why am I feeling so good when I watch these people that I choose to follow for years and years and years? It's because they expand me. And so I kind of reflected on my own stuff. Like I used to share a little bit on YouTube. I have an Instagram where I shared like a health journey and built like a really great community there. But I also worked in production, and I worked with a lot of different influencers in the health space. I was working with a supplement company, and so I had a lot of things to reflect on from this whole perspective. And I was like, okay, why didn't I not feel very lit up in my first attempt to share on YouTube? And I feel like it was because I was trying to follow someone else's model, and I was also maybe sharing about things that like didn't really light me up. Like, as much as I am passionate about helping people heal and do want to help with that, it wasn't necessarily like that direction wasn't necessarily like how I wanted to share information, because I was going so much treatment, like that was my life for a while. And really, I do believe more in like the spiritual side of healing and how like we can heal much quicker when we look at everything from a whole. And so I was talking a lot about treatments, is what I'm saying. And so I don't think I was like completely living in my authenticity from that. And it's really hard to see sometimes. Like you have to stop and ask yourself, like, am I getting lit up about what I'm talking about right now? Because people feel that. And that's how you connect with people. And so that was also one of my intentions. It's like, okay, whatever happens here, I just want to connect with people, like-minded people, especially because I'm solo traveling. I said goodbye to my life in California, my friends, everything, my family. And so I was like, it's really important to me to find like-minded people. And you're only going to connect with like-minded people if you're being true to yourself, if you are embracing the parts of you that you want to connect with other people about, you know. When I was living in California, even there, like I was very aware of who I was, but I was still hiding a lot of who I was. And like I had a lot of Christian friends. There happened to just be a lot of Christians in the beach town that I was living in, and I felt like I had to shut down like the parts of me that I'm interested in and that my soul is so that I could connect with them. And I didn't feel like that was mutual. And so what I'm saying is that you just want to, I think, in all areas of life, show up in your authenticity, and that will help with whatever you're doing. And make sure too that like what you're choosing is aligned with your soul. And so like for so long, I have known that YouTube is what I want to do. And so often I would pick some other kind of project because I would be like afraid to come on here. I was like, okay, well, I'll just get like this business going so that I have more free time to make videos, and I'll get this business going and I was like making all these excuses of doing other things that I was convinced that were meant for me. But really I was just avoiding the thing that my soul wants because I didn't believe that I was like worthy or likable or what, all these things that maybe we're told when we're younger. And so like that was a big part for me too, to like come on here and have no attachment to the outcome, because it's like it's just something I like doing right now. It's like something that's feeling good. And so I realized, I was like, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I'm sharing messages that are from my heart, from my real experiences, from, oh, my hand's like all messed up. What happened here? I'm a mess. And so I was like, you know, if I am in my truth and I know I'm a good person, like there are going to be people out there in the world who will connect with me. And so like there's nothing to be afraid of. And so I think that's what a lot of people too have a big fear of online, is that you know, you're gonna get judged or like have negative comments or whatever it is. But like those don't really matter, and it's almost like the default setting to focus on the negative rather than the positive. But if you can train yourself to look at the positive comments, which are usually way more, then it's such a great experience. And I think that with that kind of thing too, like with negativity online or in general, people judging you or trying to bring you down, it's like you can quickly forgive them because it's like it's not even real. Like the part of them that's doing that is the unconscious mind. Like their soul would never say that. And our souls are from the same place, the same consciousness, like the oneness that we all are. So like, I just kind of, whenever I see something like that, I'm like, oh, that's okay. Like, that's your unconscious. Like how interesting that we're on planet Earth right now and the unconsciousness acts like that. And I don't even think it's just that person's unconsciousness. I think that we brought out that in them because these balancing forces that I talk about try to like check us almost like, are you sure you're ready to move into this new timeline? Are you sure? Like, how about when I say this to make you feel unworthy, huh? And it's like, you get to choose not to give those things importance anymore. And then I think everything just becomes way more easy. And that's how you draw your desired outcomes to you. And so when I started sharing on here, I was like, I'm going to go down this path and I'm not going to focus on the negativity. And so in that way, it's been really good too. And I wrote down some notes because I wasn't sure if I would be able to think today. I'm also not really sure what I've said so far. But yeah. Oh, this part was interesting too. So it's like when I first started sharing on here a while ago, I would edit like a ton. Like I would spend a long time editing, like maybe like 10 or 15 hours, and I would try to make these vlogs so perfect, like how I liked watching them from other people. And I dreaded the experience of editing. Like when I was in it, I was like, this isn't too bad, but the thought of like getting started, I was like, I do not want to do that. And then I would post it, and then it would get like very little views, and then I would be like, oh, I'm wasting my time, and it was just this toxic thing. So I think like if that's going to be your style of video, then you should probably enjoy that process in the beginning. The book Transurfing that I have been talking about, I promise I'll read a new book soon and start talking about something else, but it's honestly like it's so good. I love everything in it, is resonating so deeply. And so it talks about how if something's not lighting you up, if you feel like it's like a complete chore to do, then it's probably not for you. Like I've made a video on this too. Life is meant to be easy. If it's your actual soul's path, it's meant to be easy and enjoyable and fulfilling the whole time. And so there's that. And like we also get breadcrumbs along the way of like messages on what we should focus on in our journey. And so I spoke with an astrologer / psychic before I came here to Europe, and she said she also reads faces. Like she can read like your facial features, and it gives her things to tell you. I'm so sorry. I'm like not really with it right now. And so she said to edit less for me. And I think she meant in general, like edit less the way that you speak, the way that you know, everything. And you can also take that literally, like edit less on your videos. And so I have been loving, like I look forward to the process of putting my camera up in front of me or holding it on my walk and just saying whatever comes to mind. There's so much freedom and like liberation in that, and just like not editing yourself so much. And so I also was like randomly, I don't know how I found him, but he just like showed up on my YouTube stuff through another person's thing. Sam Susik? Sam something. I think if you put Sam S, he would definitely show up. He started, I looked back at his first video shared was 11 months ago. And then today he has, I think it was like 3 million subscribers or something. And he doesn't really edit. Like he just talks in his car, and then he records his workout, and he puts it all together and he shares it. And so that was like kind of a sign, another breadcrumb to me. I was like, the things, and also like he doesn't make crazy thumbnails and do like a bunch of clickbait stuff. Like our new earth that we're moving into, like this higher consciousness on earth that we're shifting into as a collective, I think that we're really starting to wake up, and we're really starting to become so sensitive to like what's real and what's not. Like you just get a vibe from somebody when they're not being true with you. And so like when you see a video, even though sometimes we do click on it because we're like, I gotta check it out when it's clickbait, you know what's happening there, like you know. And so my experience, like when I see like a really like basic thumbnail and basic title and stuff, I'm like, oh yes, my soul would like to go to this. And so I was like, okay, permission to explore that too. And so again, like I know this isn't like, I'm not like a YouTube expert at all. I'm just sharing my experience with the past 3 weeks of being on here every day, and how positive it's been and how excited and lit up I am to continue sharing and to just like, there's so many ideas that come to my mind now, or like I'm reading something and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to share about that online. Like, I think that that's how our work should be, or like our things, the places that we put our energy into should light you up. Like, you should be like very excited to do whatever it is that you're doing. And let's see, did I write anything else? I think I actually said everything. So that's also another thing, is like not being scripted. Like, I think this might be the first time that I've had something in front of me in the past 3 weeks, and I like, it just comes through you. Like, if you just allow yourself and set the intention too, like I do this before dates too. Like, if I'm on my way to a date, I'll say like, thank you, angels and guides, for like speaking through me in the highest truth and helping this be the situation that is best for both parties, and that we both gain whatever we need to for the highest good. And so I always set the intention like that before making a video as well. And so then I can just trust that whatever I say is meant to be heard. And if I forgot to say something that I wanted to say, it just wasn't meant to be in that video. And I also trust the algorithm. Like, I used to fear the algorithm and like think like, oh, it's against me or us when I was working as a producer, creative director, and that's not the case. Like, I think that it really is working in your favor. It's just testing out to see like, would this kind of person like it? Would this kind of person like it? And like, I'm so pleased that I've been able to find like such a positive group of people who resonate with these messages so quickly. And so yeah, just trusting in the process. And so what I've been teaching, especially from, or teaching and talking about from this book, Transfer thing, is like, choose what you want. You set your intention, you choose from the infinite possibilities, and then you allow yourself to become the observer of the process with no attachment. You don't put any importance on it. And like, don't, as well, like this part too, is not celebrating your wins. Like, I know it's kind of weird, but it makes sense. When you are like, oh my God, I'm doing so well, like, wow, I've made it to 500 in 3 weeks, like, wow, then you're like attaching so much resistance to it, and you're also just like, in a way, making yourself small, and like the pride, it takes away from the truth of who you are. But if you can just take your wins in general in life when you're trying to create something and put it into, like, for me, it'd be my angels and guides. I celebrate with my angels and guides, like, great work, you guys, like, you're doing it, you're working through me, like, thank you. And then I can just feel the joy and the bliss, but take away the pride of anything that like is happening. That's been a big part of it as well. And so yeah, that's been my experience here on this platform so far, and I'm so grateful to have you guys here and to continue sharing on here. If you like this video, if you're still here with me, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. I would love to continue making videos. I'm really, really lit up by this process and would like to continue connecting with more and more people on here. So I will see you in the next video. I'm gonna go get some rest, and goodbye.